Hi everyone, I'm Dottie, Stitching Scotty, and welcome to my video about county cross stitch. I just thank everyone for tuning in, and you'll get to see Winston and Striker at the end as they're not here today as I've been out of town. I've just been running up and down the roads again. But anyway, today is Monday, September the 22nd, 2025, and thank you so much for tuning in. I stitch a little bit of everything, so if you like county cross stitch like I do, you will hopefully find something that you like and you can subscribe. And yeah, we have free pattern, and I have bunches and bunches of works in progress because, as you know, I have a lot of whips or works in progress. And so I've just kind of been squirreling around. Yeah. But anyway, let's start first of all with my book of days. I really use this to keep up with it because I stitch so many different things. I sit down, I'm like, what did I stitch on this week? So this is my September book of days, and I've been stitching most every day. Some days a little bit, and some days not so much. And I've just been having a lot of fun. Put a couple of stickers in there. Okay, first of all, because I usually always forget it here lately, I don't know what my problem is, we're going to do the free pattern. And I have two. I have one for people that like Halloween, and I have one for people that don't celebrate Halloween, and they just do like fall or something. And it's kind of generic. They're both from Rami's Creations. You know, I do a lot of patterns from Rami's Creations. Just because she has such sweet thoughts, and she's on Instagram. And for those of you that do good notes and markup, this will be ideal for you. And the others of you, you can go on there and you can you can save it to your pictures, and you can print it out, you know, and send it, email it to yourself and print it out. You know, so go to her Instagram at Rami's Creations, and I'm going to show you a picture. The first one is called A Grateful Heart, and it's so cute. The second one is called Halloween is a State. And if you're on the page and you're like, well, the whole pattern's not here, just take your finger and flip to the right or right, I think, or left, and it'll show you the rest of the pattern. And it's got the measurements, the colors you need, everything. She makes the prettiest patterns, and they're small, and there's something you can sit down and do in a night. And it might be a good friend, you know, a good gift to give to a friend, or, you know, use for a smalls exchange. So I hope y'all enjoy that, and I'll insert those pictures here. Okay, and I'm also going to announce that there's no Etsy featured shop this time, as I'm featuring Friendstitch because I had signed up for that this weekend. And I just love Bent Creek and Heart and Hand. They are just such sweet ladies, and I've been stitching their patterns for a long time. I've got some really oldies but goodies. So I never can just say, oh, you know, I can't get that, because I love what they do. And this time it was called A Winter Gathering. And they sent us this box. Isn't that cute? And it's full of all kinds of goodies, which we're going to talk about. But before they do that, they also email you ahead of time, and they're like, oh, we're excited. Oh, we can't wait till the retreat, you know, till the Zoom, because it's a Zoom retreat. So you don't have to buy an airline ticket. You don't have to pay to stay in a hotel. You just need your computer, your iPad, whatever, and you get on the link that they send, and it's just a great day. And they talk about themselves and how they got started, and you get like lots of entertainment and a tutorial or two. It's just great. But this is the pattern that they sent out first for us to do for the finishing tutorial. This is called Chill. Isn't that cute? And usually I have mine done, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just do it during the finishing tutorial. Well, this year I thought, you know, I think I'm just going to stitch along. So what I did was I found a piece of Greystone's fabric, Kenneth, that I had in my stash because they did not send the fabric. And that's about all the stitching I got done. The rest of the time, I was just like, oh my goodness. See, I told you I was squirreling around. But, but it's on 28 count Grace Notes fabric, Kenneth. And you could just pick anything out of your stash, and, you know, you pick your own DMC floss. Well, you don't pick your floss. They listed the floss, and they did them. No, I said 28 count. It's 32 count linen is what I did. And they suggested that we either use 14, 16, 28, 32, or 36, and use over 2 threads. So this is what I did. And the finishing items, because of course mine wasn't finished, so I couldn't do, they came in this neat little bag right here. And Sissy gives the best tutorials. She really does, I'm telling you. And they had the batting, the fabric. They even had cut the mat board for you. And look at this. This is just the cutest little bottle of Eileen's Tacky Glue. Okay, they had a little stick to spread the glue, which that really comes in handy. And then also, this is a good poker too when you're doing. And then they had this, and I can't remember what that was for. And they had the chenille. I think it was to, wait a minute. It was one of the forms that you're going to use, the template, and it was the easel part. And they had all these wonderful instructions and pictures. I mean, pictures. So that's really good. And it was all in this cute little bag, which I'm going to tuck it back in the bag because things have a way of, and the templates are here that you had to cut your piece with. And I'm going to tuck this back in the bag because things have a way of separating themselves when you do a floss tube. Yeah, they do. And they get misplaced. All right. Then the next thing, we had candy. There was more, but I ate it during the video. Yeah. Okay, then we had the first snowflake of winter. And we got Cottage Garden threads, amethyst and ice. And it came in this cute little package. Look at that you stitch it with. And I'll show you the floss. I've got to, I didn't open anything while I was there, because I just sat here like this. Oh, that's fun, and nibbled. And then there's the Cottage Garden thread. Look at that variegation. Oh my goodness, and the colors. And it's on 32 count dirty linen is what they stitched it on. Okay, and I did not get their linen because I have plenty of fabric. I figured, no, we don't need that. But I love Cottage Garden threads. I really do. All right, then, oh my. This was what the candy came in. Winter Gathering Fun. Yeah, it was cute. And I just nibbled out of that. Okay, next we had a shepherd's bush pattern. And it says snow. Isn't that pretty? And we had the Glisten Rainbow Gallery wool braid with the buttons there. Look at how it glistens. Isn't that pretty? To go on the cute little purple bag. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love stitching on these bags. It's so fun and quick. Yes. Then they always give us a coaster. It says, with luck, it might even snow for us. The way the weather's been lately, I hope so. I wouldn't have minded it snowing at all. And then we also got little floss drops. Aren't those cute? Look at that. I mean, they're just so good how they put things together. And we got a little notepad with the little Friendstitch things on it. Buttons and charms that say Burr. And 2 needle minders. Look at the fox. Isn't that cute? Every time I see a fox, I think about Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching, because you know, and her mom, Pam's, they do love the foxes. Now, you can either use these as pins. Look at the snowman. Or you can make needle minders out of them. And there's their logo. So cute. I mean, everything they do is special, everything. And it's just wonderful. And then the creme de la crop, the main thing. Oh yeah, and on the inside of the box, it says, Winter took the time to freeze and study the wonder of daily blessings. Okay. And then it says, make memories, create heirlooms. They have their sayings that they love to put in, and I love to read them because they're inspiring. Okay, so we got Winter Gathering Hillsides, and it says, quiet falls, snow fills the air. And you know how quiet it gets before it snows. In the South, we don't get much snow here, but when we do get it, we love it. Isn't that beautiful? And we got all the classic color works in DMC threads to go with it. And all I had to do was either buy the linen from them, or I'm going to go to my stash and get a piece of, I think it's 32 count, and stitch this up. So I can't wait to start that. Yes, another start. So look at all these goodies I have, and I am so lucky to have them because it's, you know, they have a Zoom retreat, but there's still a limited amount of people that can get in. So it's just wonderful. And I do hope Cecilia feels better. And then their other quote from Terry, oh, I can't say her name, Gillimetz, I guess, is the color of springtime is in the flowers. The color of winter is in the imagination. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so I highly, highly, highly recommend Friendstitch. They have a private face group for the retreat attendees up to a week after, and they have it way before. So be sure and follow Heart and Hand on in Bent Creek. Well, Heart and Hand in Bent Creek on Instagram. I will link them below, and be watching for the next Friendstitch. They usually do about 2 a year, and they're awesome. And they sell t-shirts and stuff like that. And I would have worn my t-shirt, except it's in the wash because I wore it the other day. So hopefully I'll get chill done, and that will be a finish and an FFO that I can show you soon. All right, speaking of finishes, oh, wait, now we got to talk about one more thing. Hang on. I usually don't drink in front of people, but my mouth is so dry today. All right, let's talk about retreats, okay? A group of friends of mine and I are putting on a retreat in Greenville, South Carolina, and it's mostly to help our local needlework shop, Panda's Crossing. We want to bring more business into the area, and we also want to offer the opportunity to our rural area and stitching friends all over that would like to come to our retreat. Now, our retreat is on wait list, but you can still sign up for the wait list because let me tell you, people get sick at the last minute, things happen, their car breaks down, you know, somebody has a baby, you know, there's all kinds of things that happen. Or, you know, your boss decides, well, you can't get off even though I told you you could have off, so you're coming to work. So, you know, there's a chance you can get in. The retreat is for 96 people to 100. We started out with 100, and we've had to cull it down to 96 because we have vendors, and they have things that our LNS doesn't carry sometimes, like project bags and notions and, you know, whatnot. And our LNS is 8 to 10 minutes away. Donna Hughes at Panda's Crossing, she has beads galore from Fire Mountain Gems. She has charms. She has all kinds of things. So you can go there and shop also while you're at the retreat. When is the retreat? It's May 15th through the 17th of 2026. And if you would like the link, you can follow either Southern Yankee Stitcher or Shelley Hamblen or myself, Stitching Scotty, on Instagram, and we have the link there. We also have it on our Facebook pages. I'm not going to give out Southern Yankee Stitchers, but I'll let her do that. But Shelley and I are on Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Dottie Crisp, and there are more than one Dottie Crisp, so I'm the one with the golf cart with the 2 Scotty dogs. Imagine that. Winston and Stryker, you know, they're famous. They have to do their thing. But anyway, it's May 15th through the 17th, and where is this retreat? It's in Greenville, South Carolina, and it's at the Spring Hill Suites, which is a Marriott hotel, and it's very, very nice. The hotel is only 6 years old. Every room is a suite. We have saved you $41 a night on the room rate. I mean, Shelley is awesome. She and her family, they have really helped with that. And the hotel provides a hot breakfast included with the price of $179 a night. Then they also have free airport shuttle if you're flying into the Greenville-Spartanburg Jetport, which is only probably about 10-15 minutes away, if that. Also, they have free Wi-Fi that actually works. Yes. Okay, so, and it's nice. The lighting is wonderful. The chairs are comfortable. The tables are so new that we don't have those bulky tablecloths, you know, that you get your legs caught in or you almost drag off the table. That would be me. And also, you'll get to meet some new friends. And that's what it's all about. We have a featured designer, and that's the best part. It's Chrissy, finally a farm girl. And it's her first designer featured retreat. So if you would like to see Chrissy, finally a farm girl, present, I hope you're signed up already because like I said, we're on wait list. But if not, and you want to get on the wait list, please go ahead and get on the wait list because it's not long. The wait list isn't. So there's a really good chance you'll get in because it's a long time till May next year. Then we also have games. We have Olivia is in charge of games, and oh, she is very creative. So I'm excited, and we're going to have some really good prizes and that Stitchers will like. And we've got a demo, a painting demo from one of our vendors that does woodworking and stuff. We also have a smalls exchange that's going to be announced in our private Facebook group, Stitch Carolinas. And to join that private Facebook group, you need to be a paid attendee. So until you pay, you cannot join the group. And please answer the questions so I will know that you're an actual human, not a creeper and not a robot. So we can keep all the riffraff out. So that would be awesome. Okay, and we hope you'll join the Facebook group. And make sure that you go, when you come, make sure you go to Panda's Cross Stitch and Beading, our local needlework shop, because she's got, like I said, beads, charms, cross stitch, floss, fabric, and the friendliest service you'll ever see. I mean, she is a very, very friendly lady. And she's got lots and lots and lots of patterns, let me tell you. Okay, she's got old, she's got new, she's always got some clearance going on. So, but anyway, now let's get on with the stitching. Sorry about that, but I had a lot to share. Okay, now I had an FFO and a finish, finally. And guess what? It's a bag. Scary. From Shepherd's Bush. And I decided I would put mine on the purple bag. I really liked the lavender bag. And this was so much fun. I stitched it with DMC Pearl Cotton number 5. And what was I? Oh, yeah. And I was going to tell you how I stitch it. Okay, I unzipped the bag. And here's the pattern. Scary. Okay. And I'm left-handed. So if you're right-handed, you can just turn it the other way. But I stitch sideways like this. And I have my left hand in the bag and my right hand on the top. And that's how I stitch. I mean, it's almost like it's on a stand. So my left hand comes in, makes the X, and I come up, you know, and just do like this and go back down. And I poke the needle up with my left hand. My right hand takes it, pokes it back down. And when I get in places where, you know, like back stitch or something where I've got to do something different, I will scrunch it up like this. And then I will, you know, like do the sewing method to do that. Like Terry and Tina at Shepherd's Bush showed us how to do. But it's so fun, and it's over 2 threads, and I use 1 strand of DMC5. Or you can use 4 strands of DMC regular cotton floss. Okay? All right, so this is scary. So it's all ready for Halloween. Yay! I'm so excited. So, and this will go for the FFO Challenge 2025 with Jen Quilter and Patty's Patty. Well, it just went. Penny's daughter shares. Thank you very much. Boy, that was weird. Okay, sorry about that, Penny. Michelle. Good grief. Goodness, it's a blonde day. So anyway, I'm going to tag them, and I'm going to put this under that hashtag, FFO Challenge 2025. I invite you to join that because it has really spurred me to finish a lot of items. I mean, I'm probably around 30 finishes this year with FFOs. Hey. All right, now, speaking of stitch-alongs, Niecy Lynn and Stitching with My Kitties, Patty Penn, are hosting a stitch-along with Screen Door Needleworks pattern 1776 Liberty Eagle. And this is the pattern. Is that not gorgeous? It's so pretty. And Patty is stitching hers on a piece of, and I'm pretty sure this is primitive hair fabric because she usually prints things, screen prints things over there. And it's got the, like part of the Declaration of Independence on there at the top. And it's so pretty. And she's centering it on there. And so what I did was I saw this when I was watching the ladies of the attic. Hi, Carolyn, and all you ladies. Y'all are so sweet. I love seeing your videos. And I ordered the 40 count. Well, no, I didn't order the 40 count. Yeah, I did. I ordered a kit. So they only kitted it up with the Tudor silks. And I'd never stitched with Tudor silks. And I thought, And I thought, well, I've got some Hands Across the Sea fabrics and some, some tabby cat fabrics, and maybe I'll find something there, in my 40 count. So I went in there, found Pamplemousse by Tabby Cat, and then here's my Tudor silks. Aren't these beautiful colors? Look at those, how rich. These are so soft. Oh my goodness. So Carolyn and everyone, the ladies there, they picked them out. And I thought I ironed this, but I must have just given it a lick and a promise. Goodness. But anyway, I started on the eagle, and you can't see his head too well. But I got one wing, the outside of it, done. And I thought, for me, that's pretty darn good. I'm stitching with 1 strand of Tudor silk over 2 threads. And that's my progress so far. So please join us on this SAL, the Stitch Along, which is a SAL. And the good thing is now you can buy this pattern at the attic. You can either email them or other locations have it. I suggest one of the local ones here near North Carolina is Bestie Barn Creations Etsy shop. And I'll link her below because Lillian had a good amount of these patterns available when I was at the Camping and Stitching Retreat a couple of weeks ago. I hope she still has some. But if not, she gives really good fast service. And yeah, you'll have your piece before you know it. I mean, seriously. And you can always try your local needlework shop too, because I know that, oops, I dropped something. It's a video. Oh, goodness. At least I fixed it where it drops on this side and it's easier to get. But then, now what I'm doing is I just have a big stack because I've stitched a lot of different things. So if it's whip go, I'll say it's whip go. If it's not whip go, I won't. If it's a stitch along, I'll say it's a stitch along because I just gave up about organization. Another drink, blabbity blab. Oh, and the one thing I forgot to say, the hashtag for the eagle is hashtag Liberty Eagle Sow. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do that again. Hashtag 1776 Liberty Eagle Sow. I will link that below also. And you need to tag Stitching with My Kitties. And you need to watch Patty Penn. She's got a lot done and it's beautiful. And also tag Niecy Lynn. And look at what she's got done. Hers is beautiful also. And they're using different threads than I am. So we'll all have like the same look, but with different thread. Okay, the next thing I'm showing is Autumn from Cricket Collection. And I just want to thank the person, the viewer, that gave me this pattern years ago when I was brand new. This was the first thing I received in the mail as Happy Mail. And I jumped up and down for joy because I'd been wanting this pattern. I was like, yay! So this is Autumn. And it's by Cricket Collection, the cross-eyed cricket. I'm doing this on 28 count, and I would say it's Lugana. And I'm using all the, well, I say I'm using all the call for DMC. Yeah, I'm using all the call for DMC. And for the silken colors, I'm using DMC because I didn't have any silken colors. All right. Got a little bit more done. I got the hat finished on the pumpkin. I got the moon stitched, which you can barely see. That's a big moon. And that was already stitched. I stitched all this, the owl, and the top of the T. So see, we're spelling autumn backwards. And it's 2 strands over 2 threads. And I am so excited to get this done because it's autumn. Yay. Today. I mean, yay. Okay, so there's that. And I've just been working on that a little bit at a time here lately. I've just been kind of inspired. Okay, then the next thing, oh, Lordy, okay, all right, and I'm trying to put things up as I go because somewhere along the way, I lost a couple of colors of floss, which you will see why I'm trying to be so particular because I would have had another finish, which I do not. Okay, well, shoot, oh, there it is. Okay, the next thing I stitched on was called, it's from Waxing Moon Design, and it's called Haunted House Trio, and I'm doing the one that says creepy. We've got haunted, spooky, creepy. This is haunted, spooky, and here is, no, wait, here's creepy, and that's spooky, because there's the spook. This is the one I'm doing right now, okay? And I'm doing this on 28 count natural raw linen. I'm using the Weeks Dye Works and DMC. I just used whichever one I had. And this is my progress. I've got the house and the tree done. Well, the tree's almost done. And it's coming along quite nice. And I really, really like that. And this one evidently just got a lick and a promise too, because look at that. You can tell I stitch in a hoop. I'm old school. I've been stitching since like 1977. So, you know, and it's 2 strands over 2 of DMC and the call for fabric or threads. Okay. Alrighty. So I've got that one. Now the next one is a whip go. And I've been stitching on it and stitching on it and stitching on it. And then I got to looking and I thought, well, this is wrong. And I might have mentioned it in my last video. I think I did, but I can't remember. First of all, I don't have the exact picture because it's just disappeared. I wonder why. So this is from Country Cottage Needleworks, and I'm doing April, even though this one says July. But it's the same concept. We just have bunnies and April and all that. All right, this is on Beautiful Beige. Notice my house is kind of a peachy color. Should I leave it or should I take it out and make it the blue teal it's supposed to be? Please answer and let me know. Because part of me's like, well, you know, it's orange like the carrots. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's on 2 strands over 2 on Beautiful Beige. And I just think those little bunnies are really cute with the grass and the carrots. And hopefully this will be a finish. I'm supposed to stitch 4 days on it. And I've been halving up my days. I've been doing, that's why I'm squirreling. I've been doing a half a day on this and then doing something else. And then a half a day on this and doing something else. So my half days are making it to be 8 days sometimes. I think I did get one good stitching day in where this was all I got stitched. But I count a day. It's whatever time I have to stitch. But now if there's not much stitching going on, it counts as a half day. I know that's weird, but, you know, I'm trying to be fair. All right, then the next thing I'm stitching on is a stitch along. It's hashtag which will you stitch. Yeah. And it's with Java Girl, Christy, and Anna from Las Vegas. Hey, girls, how you doing? And, of course, the one I chose was Lady Halloween from Jardin Privé. And I'm stitching mine monochrome in black 310, DMC 310. And it's on the color, I finally found my page, Bewitched, 32 count Bewitched. And here is my progress. She finally has an upper body. And I've started now on this, and I got some more letters done in. And I'm using 2 strands of 310 over 2. Isn't that beautiful? I love the modeling on this fabric. It's just so pretty. When I saw this fabric, I said, oh, got to have it, got to have it. And I saw the pattern on Laura Stitching by the Shore. I love to watch her videos. She scrapbooks her stuff too. And it's really pretty. And at first I was like, how in the world do you scrapbook cross stitch? But she does it really well. So you need to watch her video. It's just a different take on counted cross stitch. All right, and that's hashtag which will you stitch? And they're extending that on into October. So maybe she might get a lot more done on her. Because I'll get to a point it's like, oh, can't do any more. Because, you know, it's a lot of black. All right, the next thing I'm stitching on, I almost didn't even show. But the reason I showed it is because it's a work in progress. Now, I'm not even counting this a half a day, a fourth a day. It's just called, it's a new start. So what I had the Whip Go board had me an Easter and a spring. So the April was my spring. And Whip Go, which I forgot to tell about, is sponsored by, well, it's facilitated by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. So you need to be sure and watch her videos. But now there's a Whip Go 2025 thing where you go to get the numbers on the 25th of the month. And she draws 2 bingo numbers because you make a bingo card like this. And all the ones squared in are the ones I have stitched 4 days on, or the accumulation of 4 days. And see, this month she drew 14, which is Easter, and 18, which is spring. So when I get those 4 days in, I will color those in. And it's just something to kind of spur you on. I mean, there's no rules except your rules. And if, like, I've changed it in years past, you know, I've been like, I don't want to stitch on that. And I almost changed it this time, but I thought, no, Dottie, you said you were going to do what it said. And it's fall and I'm stitching spring and Easter. That's the only drawback. But, you know, it also helps me with a hashtag Lizzie Kate series sale that I'm doing with Jen Quilter and some of her friends. And this is the Lizzie Kate piece that says Easter. And I had to have a new start because I didn't have an Easter piece that wasn't finished. Isn't that cute, though? It was a little kit with the fabric. And it had a piece of white 32 count linen. And it included the buttons. And the design is 56 by 44. Now, don't laugh. Look at my big start. Oh, it's upside down, too. Okay, the top of the basket, and I started where the handle is. See, that's a lot of stuff. Look at that. This is one of those, what does she call them? Oh, barely started things that Pam from Just Keep Stitching does, you know. I need to join that club with her because, yeah. So, I'm going to work 4 days on this. I really am. Yeah. And we're going to, hopefully, we'll get a finish. If not, we'll at least get more done. And there's the buttons. I love Lizzie Cake kits. I was so sad when she retired. I was like, oh. But, you know, there's other designers that have stepped up and they have like the same kind of vibe. And it's really, really interesting and fun to find new patterns and new things. So, yeah, it's always good. Okay, the next one is the we lose the floss problem that causes a problem. When you're out and about and you're stitching and you come and you're so close to finish and you look for your threads and floss and one or two of them are missing, and they were there because I always keep everything up totally. I try never to borrow, and from now on I will not borrow from another kit. I will not. But Spirits and Spells from Brenda Gervais. This is so cute, and I've had this pattern for oodles of times, and it was on 40 count, so it fit on the little paper mache box. Okay, it's on 40 count Weeks Dye Works Confederate Gray, and it uses Weeks Dye Works Gentle Arts and Classic Color Works. I would have had a finish 2 or 3 days ago, but I'm out of 2 colors, and I got home and I do not have them here either. I'm gonna see if I can match them up, but if not, I'll just make a trip to my LNS and pick them up. But this is Spirits and Spells by Brenda Gervais. See, I need to finish the apron and the pumpkins need stalks, and that's it. Isn't that just cute? I love her shoes. And that jack-o'-lantern, I'll tell you, he's just, But it's so cute. And it's 1 strand over 2 threads. This is about as non-whimsical as I get, because I teach piano, and I'm also a mastectomy fitter, a certified mastectomy fitter, and they don't come to my home, but the piano students do, and they're little kids, and I don't want to scare them, you know, because if you scare, you know, and a lot of people don't do Halloween, so I try to do like trick-or-treaters, you know, smiling pumpkins, smiling ghosts, that kind of thing. Okay, and my last one. All right. Yet again, I must be on this Halloween kick, I'm telling you, because everything I've stitched lately has been Halloween. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, I love this pattern. The first time I saw it is Cottage Garden Samplings, and this is Halloween Sampler. Now, they have 2 Halloween samplers, and this is number 1, although it doesn't say number 1. The pattern's large, and it opens up into 4 sheets like patterns used to do once upon a time. And it's easy to follow, but I have the limpest, and I do mean limpest, fabric. It's 28 count dense fog, and it's Weeks Dye Works. I finally found the little project card I had made, but I got a little more stitched on this. Isn't that pretty? Well, spooky. But I thought this was kind of spooky, and I really like this, and I thought, this might be good, you know, in the kitchen or, you know, something like that. But it's 2 strands over 2, and like I said, this is very limp fabric because it's the old Weeks Dye Works. But I love this. I think it's just really, really got the spirit of Halloween. But anyway, it's 2 strands over 2. And I'm sure it's not perfect because nothing I stitch ever is, but, you know, it's my stitching and I like it, and it brings me joy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found something that interested you. Now, let's talk about plans. And at the end, I'll have some pictures of Stryker and Winston and some of the places I've been this week, or these past 2 weeks. Okay. And now, this coming weekend, I'll be going to the Non-Stop Stitching Retreat in Reedville, South Carolina, which is 15 minutes from my house. And Dolores and I, yay, she's back almost. Hopefully, we'll be able to make a video and tell you about the retreat and what fun we've had. It's just a very casual retreat where you go and stitch, and she usually has trunk shows and you know, smalls exchange, you know, the usual, and just lots of fun and fellowship. Really, really good. and Heather is just wonderful. And she has an online shop here in our local area in Duncan, South Carolina. I mean, it's just online, and it's called Nonstop Stitching, and it's a great shop. It has a different genre from Panda's Cross Stitch, but you need to go on her shop, and she's got some great needle minders and things, and some patterns just all over the spectrum. And a lot of them are very different from what Donna carries. So at Panda's Crossing, and they're both sweet friends of mine, and I really, really appreciate them. And I'm also going to recommend that people that come to my retreat shop at Heather's Nonstop Stitching website while they're at our retreat also. So anyway, the next plan I have is, and I'll link that below, the next thing I'm going to do in retreat-wise, and this just came up, and I'm so excited, and my husband's excited for me too, and I'm like, why aren't you going? But he doesn't want to go. He wants me to go and have a good time, and I'm going to go and meet a couple of friends, and I'm so excited. I'm going to Swindon, England, to Nicola Parkman's British retreat overseas. I've never been to England. I'm Scotch-Irish. I'm so beyond excited. So, and my husband's beyond excited for me too. He said, I really want you to go. And I'm like, no. He's like, yes, you need to go. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I'm going to be so close that I'm going to Highclere Castle because I'm a Downton Abbey fanatic. I love Downton Abbey, and I just can't wait to go. And I want to see some of the sights there. So I'm going to stay a little bit longer and splurge a little bit. And then when I get back, I'm going to be resting for one day, and I'm going to go to the Boo Stitch-tacular retreat at the Stitch and Kitten the week after in October, and it's put on by the Stitch and Kitten, so be sure and go to that. She may have a couple of spots open, and her retreats are fun also. And she has lots of vendors, and she has a shop that has loads of fabric and loads of floss, so you need to go to that. You know, everybody in our community, you know, we're here for each other. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to do, is support my local needlework shops and all the other brick and mortars here. And I just thank you so much. And I hope you're as excited as I am, because I'm going to do lots of videoing when I go. You know how I do my retreat videos. So until next time, if you don't start it, you can't finish it. And happy stitching. Bye-bye, everybody.